So does the user need any other type of equipment to utilize our electronic humidity sensor?
Sure, there's a couple of accessories that come with the plug, with the sensors. The first is what we call the activator. This is basically an infrared flashlight with a unique light signature. So you point it at the sensor to turn it on in the beginning, and then thereafter you can point it at the sensor to have it display its condition, whether it's green or the blinking red light. There's also the interrogator that comes with the plugs, and that's what's used to originally at the beginning set up the thresholds for the sensor when it's going to show good or bad. And then also thereafter you can use it to download the data from the sensor. It communicates with the sensor via infrared, so you don't need wires. The sensor can actually stay in the container while you're downloading the data.
So do you need an activator, or is there some other way to activate the sensor?
You need to activate the sensor using the activator. That being said, if you just want the sensor to display its condition, a green light or a blinking red light, you can just push on the window instead of using the activator.
So how is the data, the temperature data, the humidity data, how is that transferred to another device, a computer, and is there any software required?
There is software required that comes with the sensors. It just runs on the Windows PC. There's also an accessory, a piece of hardware called the interrogator, and this is used to transfer the data from the sensor to the computer. The interrogator communicates with the sensor via infrared, so it's wireless, and so you just point the interrogator at the sensor, it communicates the data, and then downloads it to the computer. It shows up on the computer in a comma delimited file, so you can evaluate the data using Microsoft Excel or a similar piece of software.
So you mentioned that there's LED lights, green for good, red for bad. How are those parameters defined?
So the user sets it up ahead of time. You can set a relative humidity and then the number of consecutive readings, and that's a threshold, after which the humidity, the sensor is going to show a blinking red light. So for instance, if you want to know if your container contents have been subjected to 50% relative humidity or higher for 24 hours in a row, you could set that up ahead of time.
So why is it that this sensor only gives you a visual indication of good and bad? Why doesn't it just broadcast its condition?
So the sensor was originally developed for the Department of Defense. They have sensitive applications where you don't want to broadcast the location of the sensor. Also, they have some of the contents of the containers that they're trying to monitor are sensitive to radio transmissions.